Everyone's new favorite character to talk about once again, Bennett is back, and he's even stronger in the Dragon's Mind 1.2 update. Free to play or otherwise, he's an insane character. Even at Constellation 0, he can be an incredible damage dealer for you as well. A lot of this power comes from the new weapon that you guys can get your hands on for free, with free refinement ranks to come from the Chalked Prince in the Dragon event. This is going to be the Festering Desire, an incredibly powerful weapon for him. It does literally everything that Bennett wants to do all in one package, even if you're not using him as a damage dealer, although this does allow him to be an incredibly strong damage dealer in the right team composition. But we're going to be going over everything free to play, pay to win, damage dealing builds, support builds. Let's get into that right now. Now, obviously, Bennett is known for by now for the vast majority of the community who were slow to get on the train about his elemental burst, the Fantastic Voyage. This is going to put down a 12-second duration AoE circle that is going to do a couple things for you. Now, it's going to give you HP regeneration up to 70% of your HP. And then if you're at Constellation 0, once you're at 70% or higher HP, it's going to give you an attack bonus based off of Bennett's base attack. At level 5 here, as you can see, Fantastic Voyage is going to give you a 74% attack bonus. Now, what is base attack? That is very easy. If you go to attributes here, you click on details, the white number is your base attack. This is factoring in the actual flat attack that Bennett gets for being leveled up, and it's also factoring in the flat attack on your weapon. So in this case, the 449 from the Festering Desire plus whatever Bennett's base attack is giving me 596 base attack. But what else does Bennett do? Why is he so strong? That's primarily number one. That's his supportive occupation. So if you're building him for support, you're kind of just looking for artifacts that give energy recharge, HP percent, so he heals even more, although he heals so much already. He heals for like 2k a tick at 1600 HP with a level 5 ultimate there. That's why he doesn't really need that much love to be that support that you want. But outside of that, for artifacts, you're looking for energy recharge if you're using him for a supportive character. The Noblest Oblige set is fantastic for him as well. Get a little bit of elemental burst damage in there. Doesn't really matter too much since he's in there as your support, but the 4-piece for it will give you that 20% attack bonus for 12 seconds. Some other sets that you can use while leveling up. The Exile set is very nice. It's going to give some additional energy recharge for Bennett. That 2-piece is very nice, and that's going to help you get the elemental burst off quicker. And on top of that, if you go for the full 4-piece here, you can get some slight energy regeneration for the rest of your party members. That's going to help you out a little bit here and there, in conjunction with maybe a support weapon like the Favonius Sword. If you're trying to build him straight up as a support, the Favonius Sword, if you can get some critical hit rate in your build for Bennett as well, when you elemental burst, you throw in like an attack or two with your normal attack, and a critical hit has a chance to generate elemental particles. You combine that extra energy regeneration with the Exile set energy regeneration, you're gonna get some extra energy and elemental burst off on your other characters, your main damage dealers who want that big elemental damage from their elemental burst. They want to have that more often, and Bennett does not have a big problem filling his up every 12 seconds. So support Bennett is not that hard to build. He's not very gear hungry. A little bit HP percent, a little bit energy recharge. You can get in there and do the thing that you want him to do. But what about damage dealing Bennett? Damage dealing Bennett, guys, is exceptionally powerful, especially with the new weapon, the Festering Desire. The energy recharge on that, you might be saying, that's not a damage dealing stat, that's not that strong. It's going to help you get his elemental burst off without really needing to build for a whole ton of energy recharge, because Bennett is going to be gaining energy recharge as his bonus stat for leveling up. You're going to get some extra on the Festering Desire, and then you can focus on nothing else but damage stats and substats. The other thing here is the refinement rank on this weapon. We only have access to level 1 right now at the time of recording for this video, but all of Bennett's damage primarily is coming from his elemental skill, and this does two things. It gives you elemental skill damage increase and elemental skill critical hit rate. After we can max refine this weapon, it's going to give you 32% elemental skill damage and 12% critical hit rate. That's going to help out a ton when building Bennett. Now, what about his elemental skill? Passion Overload. It does look very bland at first glance. It has 3 different versions: the press version, the charge version, and the charge level 2 version. Do not trap yourself. You're not going to charge this skill up at all, because as you charge it up, not only does the charge take time out of you doing damage, because you have to go through the charge animation, but it also lengthens the cooldown of the elemental skill. What you want to be doing is using the press damage for this skill. On top of this, not only does it have that low 5-second cooldown, his ascensions at rank 1 and his second ascension here, Fear Not and Rekindle, both reduce the cooldown of Passion Overload. This allows you to do some very nice things because he is a pyro character, so he gets to use both hydro and cryo support characters to let him do vaporize or melt, and do that often, especially in conjunction with the energy recharge we talked about. Is very nice because Fear Not, his second ascension, decreases the cooldown of his Passion Overload elemental skill by 50% when you use it inside of his own elemental burst. And this is very, very, very nice. So what are kind of the stats we're looking at for Bennett for a damage dealer? What set are we looking for? This set in this sort of playstyle for Bennett as a damage dealer, you are going to be using the Crimson Witch of Flames set. This set is absolutely amazing for him. It's an insanely strong set for him. So the 2-piece here is going to give you 15% pyro damage. On top of that, the 4-piece increases not just overloaded and burning damage, but vaporize and melt damage by 15%. We're going to abuse vaporize and melt with him. On top of that, when you use an elemental skill, the 2-piece bonus is increased by 50% of its starting value for 10 seconds. So 50% of its starting value, 15%, half of that, 7.5%. So if you use 2 of these, you get up to 3 stacks of this, and the stacks last 10 seconds. So you can get an additional, what is that? 22.5% pyro damage from this set, which is very, 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 very nice. Now, as far as stats we're looking for, guys, we are looking for critical hit chance, critical hit damage, attack percent. Those are the 3 big ones we're looking for sub stats there. So if you find those, that's what you're aiming for there. Now, on the goblet here, you're looking for pyro damage, obviously. And then the circlet, you're going to be getting either critical hit chance or critical hit damage, depending on what sort of critical hit chance substat rolls you get on your gear. And also, this is going to change based on the refinement rank of your Festering Desire. Right now, it's only giving us 6% critical hit chance. This will eventually give us 12% critical hit chance there. So for right now, I'm better off at using a critical hit chance, which is set here with circlet. So if I put this one on, boom, critical hit chance, throw that bad puppy on, and we are looking at 57% critical hit rate and 78% critical hit damage. So if I were able to maybe get a goblet, or not a goblet, but a circlet, excuse me, with critical hit damage and maybe like 10% critical hit right there, and then refine my weapon, I could drop this critical hit rate circlet off, put a critical hit damage one on there, get up to like 130, 140% critical hit damage, and still be around like a 50-ish% critical hit rate there on Bennett for his elemental skill. Now remind yourself that critical hit right there, that is critical hit rate in general. It's not currently applying a Festering Desire bonus to his elemental skill. This teamwork, how much do I need to dig down deep with my brain to make this work? Not at all. It's not that hard to make him work because Bennett's going to be your healer. He's going to be his own attack buffer. He's his own support. So that's going to do amazing things there. But he is going to need at least one partner. This is going to allow him to do either melt or vaporize. Now, in my opinion, probably his best partner is Chongyun. Chongyun's elemental skill applies that cryo field. You swap into Chongyun, you apply the cryo field, and this will allow Bennett to do cryo damage with his normal attack. And then you use Bennett's elemental skill to do pyro damage to proc the melt. So that is a fantastic partner for our boy Bennett here. If you want to do vaporize instead, you have Xingqiu. Xingqiu's elemental burst will allow the swords to come out, apply hydro element, but also do good damage in its own right, and then you will be able to proc vaporize with Bennett's elemental skill. You can also use Diona. She's kind of there for her elemental burst only, so you're really reliant on her long cooldown, especially if you don't have Constellation 1. It's got 80 energy costs there. You can also bring in an Animo character. You want to do Chongyun, an Animo character like Sucrose or Venti, or even like Jean or the main character to apply the swirl debuff with the Viridis and Venera set. That's going to be a solid application there. And then you can bring like a secondary Pyro character if you so desire there. You can bring someone like Shengling, who is also built in the Witch's set. This allows you to melt the Guoba attacks over and over and over as well. You just put Guoba down while you're inside Chongyun's field and just poke at the monsters one by one and have your pet there breathe fire on them. That's going to work out really well there. So let's go see and put this in action and put it into practice so you guys can see just kind of how this sort of thing is going to work out. So what we're looking for the melt and the vaporize action. Remember, this Bennett's His elemental skill is level 1. He only has like 70 something critical hit damage. I haven't put a lot of time and effort into a DPS Bennett because I have a lot of other characters that I'm playing with right now on this account. But we're looking for how much of that effect we can have with our melt, with our vaporize. So you just get in there, boom, bop, bop, boom, bop, bop, boom. Just get in there, bop, bop, boom. That's all it takes, baby. And we have our elemental burst fully recharged there. So let's see some of that vaporize action, right? Oh, we just obliterated everyone. What's up, dude? Kind of move them outside of the field so we're not getting the quickest refresh. We can throw this field down now. Just get in there. Just get in there. So you can do some really nice damage, especially when you're in your own field here. That guy got hit for 30k, actually. That guy got deleted. He got actually deleted from this skill level 1 Bennett. This is a lot of damage for a level 70 character. Skill level 1. I mean, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. He's got his burst. He's ready to go again. We don't have the field yet for Chongyun. Oh, we do now. So we'll be able to apply that. Melt a little bit. 16k because he was stunned, so he lost his elemental resistance there. Melt. Melt. Just heal ourselves back up. No big deal. Put this field back down so we can start applying crowd or whatever we want. Just keep smack, and that's all you need to do. You just team smacks a lot. That's all you are. You just team smacks a lot. Just keep booping them. Just keep, wow, the numbers didn't even show up. Hello, sir, how are you doing? And that's it. That's a lot of damage coming from a level 70 Bennett with a level 1 talents and not well built artifacts, to be honest with you guys. He needs a better stuff if I want to really commit to Bennett Adventure Times at 78% critical hit damage. You can get to like 120, 130, especially when you want to get more refinements of the Festering Desire. We're gonna have 32% elemental skill damage and 12% critical hit right there. So that really plays extremely well with his builds coming into patch 1.2. Not only was he top tier before, literally one of the best characters in the game, free to play or otherwise, he's even better than before now, even easier to build as a damage dealing character, and takes a full advantage of that Festering Desire. It really bridges the gap between the support Bennett and the DPS Bennett. Now, there is one thing you guys need to know, is that if you're out there mega whaling it and you have Constellation 6 and you've put this in your Bennett, you are not able to do anything that you've seen here today, because this will make you infused with Pyro. And Pyro and Geo are the two highest, what's the word I want to use? If you try to imbue multiple elements, Geo's the most priority, or the highest priority. Geo's the most priority, followed by the Pyro, so you won't be able to do the field thing that you saw there with our favorite Chongyun Cryo Boy. You could possibly still pull it off with our other guy, Xing Cho, but you cannot do the Melt Cryo field with Chongyun there. But Bennett Adventure Time, he's got a lot of places to go. If you want to see more stuff like this for Genshin Impact content and coverage, you know what to do. YouTube team out there, hit that little bell, ding-a-ling-a-ding-dong it. You guys have a good rest of the weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys.